What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise.
We are all familiar with the 50 Shades of Grey franchise. However, how many of you have watched 365 Days? Despite the controversial reports, both from the fans and the critics, we are here to announce that an announcement came about a sequel of the franchise. And today we're going to talk about just that. We are going to have a first look into the sequel and tell you everything we know so far. Enjoy. Recap. Now, before we move on forward, let's take a look at the first movie. What was it about, and what happened, and how will it serve as a blueprint for what is coming? However, be warned, there will be spoilers up ahead, so if you haven't watched it, you definitely should, because even though some of the critics did not like the movie, it is still a great one. With that out of the way, let's continue. When the movie was released and people around the world have seen it, there was quite an uproar, ever since the release on the Netflix platform on the 7th of June, 2020. The movie had eyeballs popping left and right because of its intense scenes and how those scenes even came to be in the first place. The film is based on the Polish book of the same name by author Blanka Lipińska and follows the mob boss Massimo Torricelli and his love, Laura Biel, who was kidnapped by Massimo and given a year to fall in love with him, and he telling her that he will let her go if she doesn't appreciate his feelings in that time. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but many people were also amazed by the tale of mobsters, kidnapping, explicit-looking scenes, and everything in between. The ending was kind of confusing and left us with many questions, but we are here to answer many, if not all of them. So without further ado, let's get started. As if there were truly any doubt, Massimo ends up getting his wish by the end of the movie. And after sending Laura back to Poland when he has gotten to get some things together done regarding the business, he eventually goes back to her. When he goes to her, she is mad, as if anyone would be, but an intense scene happens and she tells him that she doesn't need the full 365 days, and that she's already in love with him. With that detail of only 2 months passed since the kidnapping, Massimo proposes to marry her, to which she agrees. The lovebirds head to Italy and Laura, together with her friend Olga, goes shopping. However, on the way back to the compound, disaster strikes. Mario, the driver, gets a call that they are going to kill Laura at any second. So he tries to reach Massimo, but he is on call with Laura, and the connection is lost between the two when the car enters a tunnel. Mario tells Massimo that something is very, very wrong, and that is the point when our favorite kidnapping monster falls to his knees with tears in his eyes.
I don't need 365 days.
Because
I love you.
Part 2 and 3. Good news, however, came from Netflix that Part 2 is indeed happening, with Netflix confirming a sequel to 2020's big hit, and that it is already in development. In addition to a sequel of the franchise and getting a green light, Netflix also confirmed that a third installment of the franchise will also come in the near future, with them taking the helm of both the second and the third part, filming them back to back. 365 Days Part 2 release date. It has been a long time since the tease for the sequel of the franchise started, all the way back from June 2020 to be precise, ever since the movie released on the Netflix platform, and both star Michele Morrone revealed information in a personalized fan video for Hala High, the Middle Eastern equivalent of Cameo, and writer Blanka Lipińska gave Oprah Daily a little preview on the topic.
if you feel like running, you should wear a different kind of shoes. Sometimes fighting is futile.
Originally, it was reported that filming of the sequel was meant to begin in August 2020 in Sicily, but like the other movies in the industry, the pandemic caught up to this franchise too, delaying the filming process until May 2021, a time when both Part 2 and Part 3 will start the filming processes back to back. And also, we should mention that the production will set up shop in Italy after moving from Poland. As for the date when the sequel will be released, the film might have been expected to have a theatrical run before arriving on the streaming service, but Netflix did not agree to that. Thus, the sequel will probably release in 2022 and will likely be a worldwide release on the Netflix streaming platform.
You saved me.
Thanks God that was so close. Why are you so disobedient?
365 Days Part 2 cast. It was confirmed for a long time now that Michele Morrone will be returning as the lead actor of the franchise in the likes of Massimo, the gangster with a palatial home. Anna Maria Sieklucka will also be here for the sequel, reprising her female lead as Laura, Massimo's romantic obsession. Laura's friend Olga will see the big screen again, with Magdalena Leparska portraying the character. Other cast members are also expected to be back for the sequel, but nothing has been confirmed yet, so stay tuned. Simone Susina was confirmed to be playing a new major character, who goes by the name of Marcelo Matos, and his presence will be the character who will eventually create a love triangle and a very absurd twist that will eventually define the sequel.
Be ready in 2 hours because we need to buy some stuff before we depart.
Depart? Where to? What are you talking about? I'm not flying anywhere unless it's Poland.
365 Days Part 2 Plot. The first part ended with a huge cliffhanger. Well, not a cliffhanger if you have read the books, and you know there are 2 more books to which the franchise will adapt its screenplay, on which the franchise is based on, which also means that even though the ending left the fans wondering what happened to Laura, in the books, she actually lives. In the second book, Massimo and Laura restart their life together, and he finally finds out about her pregnancy, and they get married. However, just when things go well, Marcello, the new character on the block, will be there to spoil things up, and be a major obstacle between the two, and the character who kidnaps Laura. This is the story in the books, however, seeing how the first movie went, and when compared to the first book, this is what the second movie's plot will look like when all the adaptations take place. So untypical of many of the movies out there, Laura eventually falls for Marcello too. Strange, right?
Well, I don't understand what you two are saying, but it's rather clear that she wants you to leave.
Laura and the baby's life will be put in danger through a chain of events. And in the books, there's also something about an evil twin of Massimo, so put your focus there and try to develop a theory of some sort to see how things turn out. From the looks of things, the sequel sounds like a much bigger hot mess than the first movie. Thus, maybe even more explicit things are coming our way. After all, these scenes are what keeps many of the fans hooked and dedicated to come back. A thing to mention about the plot side of things is that, unlike the first movie, the sequel should not have many problematic themes and plot holes now that Netflix has oversight on the whole process. Some of those problematic themes from the first movie might get tempered and used as mistakes on which the franchise will improve itself and deliver on a much higher level. Whatever the case may be, the fans will have to wait until next year to find out if the franchise will be able to do all the things that they have set their minds to.
Nobody believed that I will ever find you. And she didn't believe at all.
What did she say?
Doesn't matter.
On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the first part of this franchise? And what element of the movie has been your favorite? And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.